my night nurse. Only you alone can quench this here thirst. Good morning, guys. How are you doing? Good morning, everyone. It is Sunday. It is Sunday. I think today is the 24th, I believe. If I am correct, maybe I think the 24th or something like that. But whatever day it is, welcome, welcome into the live, my friends. Thank you all so much for stopping in, for stepping out, and for stopping by. You all know at this time of the morning what we do at this time of the morning. Yeah, we gather here. Yes, at this time of the morning we gather here for one reason only, and that is to do the scripture reading. Now, while we do the scripture readings each morning, I do not want it to be misconstrued or misunderstood. Please, I do not endorse any particular religion or denomination at all. At all. Okay? What I'm simply doing here is taking on this quest to read the Bible from beginning to end. And you all are invited to listen. If you all have read any additional literature that could, that could add some gravy, some meat or some gravy to what we're reading, you are perfectly welcome to share that with us. But please, people, please, for those of you who have a penchant for confusion, have a penchant for, anger, for expressing yourself quite angrily, and for name calling and claiming people are blaspheming and trying to put people down and dismiss them. Please, this is not the place for you. Oh, no, nobody come up stormy spirit, please. I mean, I like people up stormy spirit. Yeah. If you come here and you feel as though what I'm saying is not in alignment with what you believe, I'm not here to be in alignment with what anybody else believes. And I am not here to tell anybody not to believe what they believe. Okay? I just want to make that clear. What you believe is what you believe, and I'm not trying to alter that in any way, shape, or form. Okay? What I am doing is what many of you who are quick to condemn refuse to do. I said that because 99% of you who claim to know the Bible, you want to try to convince people of what is in the Bible. You want to condemn people. All these things. You want to curse people. All you want to do in the name of the Bible. But you ain't never read it. You ain't never read it for yourself. You're not sure what's in it. You just think you believe something, and based on that premise that you believe it, you get all upset if somebody else does not believe it with you. Well, get your head out of the sand. Sit and listen. Or go and go cook your Sunday dinner. All right? Right, AG? Good morning, AG. Who is that? Tweety? Tweety is here. Cam Cooler is here. Angie and Anne-Marie, how are you doing? Good morning, my darlings. Good to see you, Lisa Moika. How are you doing, and Malik? Is that Sister Gay? Good morning, Sister Gay. How are you doing, my love? Good to see you. Happy Sunday morning to you. Malik, say even though it is a quarter till 8 o'clock in the morning, a lot of Jamaicans already done cook them dinner. Raise your hand if you're a Jamaican, you already finished cooking your dinner. I want to know why I say that. When I was growing up, we would finish cooking so early. Because we wasn't cooking inside, but by this time, peas upon fire, because from Friday, if we never drop wood from Friday to put on the peas, then we have to get up early this morning and go look wood for cook the peas. Yeah, so the peas would already be on the fire. Like the color of turquoise. I like that. I like that. How are you doing, my love? Good to see you. Just Mix Vlog. Is it Just Miss Vlog? What's up? How are you doing? It's a long time I haven't passed through your town. What's going on? Oh my God, child, I wish I could pass through everybody's town every day. But I can't. I can't. When I open up when I open up the internet these days, once upon a time when I had just a few people and I could see those few people more frequently, it was easier for everybody to see me. But now that my wings have grown a little bit, I can't get through to everybody. But I try my best. So if you don't see me, come on now. It's not the end of the world. Drop me a message. Something. Say, Trev, what happened? Me not see you. You understand? All things is priceless is somebody else I'm always going to, but sometimes boy me I tell you no. Anna, oh my God, people you got to forgive me. Saniki and all my lovely people. Desiree is in the house. What AG said? AG said, what kind of wood me go look? If me go look wood, I'm go look wood fire. I'm go look wood for the AG, I can't repeat after you. AG, I'm about to start reading the AG, I'm about to start reading the Bible. What kind of wood you talking about? Angie, I'm not in it with you this morning. It's too early. It is too early. All right. Yes. As a Jamaican from the country, at this time of the morning, Sunday morning, yeah. If you're not go look good yet, if you put on the peas, you're getting ready to go look good to put on the peas. Now agree with me. Right boot on the left foot. Bless up yourself, bro. Good morning. Happy Sunday morning to you. Thank you all for the loves and the roses. I sincerely appreciate you. AJ, I can't with you. Why is it? Oh, so we must say, okay. So he says I need to say I went to look for fire stick. But either way, a fire stick anyway. But anywho, we are AJ, I'm going to read the Bible. What's wrong with you? Okay, so we are going. We are going to be reading from the book of St. Matthew chapters 17 and 18. If you are there, what we did read yesterday? Hold on there. Did I leave out 16? Because I have Sunday written at 16. Who was here yesterday? I gotta try to keep y'all on your toes. Who was here yesterday? Because I probably have to correct the titles. I think today is 16 and 17, but I thought I wrote 17 and 18. But anyway, we're gonna read 16 and 17 today. We might read 16, 17, and 18. But anyway, Sister Desiree is here. How are you doing, my love? Good to see you. Happy Sunday morning to you. I see Richard, and I see right boot on the left foot. I see Jill. Um Several other people. Welcome into the live. Thank you for coming, guys. So you can get your book Bible or your Google Bible and follow along with me. You don't have to worry when you come over here that I am endorsing religion or encouraging you to abandon the one to which you are already loyal. No, no, that's not what we're doing here. We are simply, as a layperson, reading the Bible for myself. You know, I want to tap myself on the shoulder and say, well, I have read that book from beginning to end, at least with purpose. Because when I was a teenager, I read the book, but I didn't really read no purpose. I put my head in the book, called the words, and kept on moving. But now I'm reading it. I'm reading it with a purpose, and that is why I'm not in a hurry. Those of you who have been here for the last 2.5 years, you all know how we have been doing. So welcome, Sister Winsome. Good morning. How are you doing? Winsome, I was online this morning until almost 1 o'clock, you know. So when 4 o'clock came, you know, I told myself, Trev, you can reward yourself, right? Rich. Oh, Rich. Is that the same Rich? Is that my friend Rich right there? So I decided, you know what, Trev, you deserve some sleep. Yeah, because you've been up and running all week. You deserve a little bit more rest. So I decided, let me take an extra hour. Well, I went back to sleep. The extra hour took me till 7. When I woke up, it was like 7:11. Oh, well. Okie dokie. I'm sorry. I felt a little thirsty there. Okay, guys. So if you have your book Bible or your Google Bible, whichever one you have, you are welcome to join with us as we read. Yesterday, let's do a little bit of a recap of what we read yesterday. Not the entire thing, but yesterday we read where where Jesus was up on the mountain when the multitudes gathered. And the disciples was asking him to send the multitudes away. He said he can't send away all these people and they haven't eaten, do not have no food, do not have no food, nobody have any food to give the people. I can't just send the people away. They said somebody had 5 loaves and 2 fish. So he blessed the 5 loaves and 2 fish, ended up feeding, how many? Was it 4,000 people? Ended up feeding, excuse me, and he ended up feeding like 5,000 men plus women and children. Yeah, with the 5 loaves and the 2 fish, he ended up feeding 5,000 people. And then on the second occasion, when the multitude was gathered again, the same thing happened again. And at that time, someone had 7 loaves and a few fish. Now, I'm not afraid to admit that I learned that yesterday because I was never aware that it was 2 times. Well, at least 2 times according to the Bible, according to what I've read so far, that this happened. And I know I'm not alone, but maybe I'm just the brave one who is willing to say it out aloud. Growing up and all my life, I've always heard that Jesus blessed the 5 loaves and the 2 fish and fed the multitude. But when I read yesterday that it happened twice, I was taken aback. Like, I didn't know it had happened. It was documented in the Bible, I should say, that it happened more than once. All right, so now you all know. At one point, he fed over 5,000 people, because it was 5,000 men plus women and children with the 5 loaves and the 2 fishes. And then another time, he fed 4,000 men plus women and children with 7 loaves. And he didn't say how many fish. He just said a few fish, which tell me that maybe a few little tiki, a few little sprat, a few little sardines. You know, I don't know what I mean. All right. Okay, so, and then in yesterday's reading also, we saw where the Canaanite woman had come to him for him to heal her daughter. The disciples were telling him to chase her away. I mean, she wasn't a Jew. He had said it clearly that he had come for the Jewish people. Okay? He said at that time, it is not good for him to take the children's food and give it to the dog. That was a figurative speaking, but he was talking about the woman. Yes. Because he had come to rescue or to save or to redeem the Jewish people out of the hands of the enemies and to lift up the Jewish people, to show the people around that the Jewish people could get back their authority in the region. He was not there for the people who were not Jews. And this woman, being a Canaanite woman, was not amongst the people who he had come to redeem. So he said, it was not fair for him to give this proverbial food he was talking about that was for the Jewish people. He said it was not fair for him to give this food to the dogs, which would have been that woman, because she was not a Jew. But the woman, by her measure of faith and believing that in fact Jesus could do something for her, she said to him, I acknowledge that in your eyes I'm considered like a dog, but I will eat even the crumbs of your table. I will eat even the crumbs of your table. The crumbs that fall on the ground, I am willing to eat it just so you can heal my daughter. And Jesus said to her, just for that faith, just for you to have that much faith in me, and not just having faith in me, but just for that kind of strength, I will heal your daughter. And he did. So I know a lot of people don't like to hear that, because to them, their Jesus is someone who would never say anything that would seem unkind. But you all have to understand, rather than taking it personally, you have to understand the message that comes with it. But you know, people like to say, when they say, Jesus tell the woman, say, call the woman dog. And a lie. And a lie. Just like how Jamaican, that just goes to show that we should be kind. Exactly. They said that goes to show we should be kind to one another. Yeah, there can be a lot of lessons taken from that incident right there. Right, Joseph? Joseph said, good morning, Trevor, and everyone in the chat. Morning to you. Why you never wake me up earlier, Trev? I did not turn up the loudspeaker this morning. Joseph, you know, still leave me go to bed last night. This morning I said, you know, maybe sleeping a little bit, yeah? I'm tired. Now me get up bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. I go do the readings and then go cook me Sunday dinner. Me not have to go look out for cook me Sunday dinner anymore, right? So me can cook me Sunday dinner and finish by at least midday, somewhere around there. Right, guys? Bless up yourself, guys. I see chosen by God and all. Thank you all so much for coming in. Yes, guys. So as I was saying, a lot of people don't like to hear when you say Jesus called the woman dog. But you have to understand that there are several instances in the Bible where the people who were not Jews were referred to as dogs. It was just how it was. All the Jamaicans who are in the house, so no love call people Jankro. Yeah, that is our vernacular for somebody who you despise, or that's the ultimate way to disrespect somebody in Jamaica. Is to call them a Jankro. And that's the same way it was then. Their ultimate way to disrespect the people they did not like was to call them a dog. So, by the woman's faith and the woman's trust and belief in Jesus, she said, "May we eat even the crumbs off of your table." Okay? And Jesus said, just because of that faith and that fact, you will receive the blessing that you seek. And so the woman's child was healed. Okay? All right. So, Genevieve, Miss Tina, bless up a nice clean self. How are you doing? So we are going to continue with the reading this morning. I think we're going to read chapters 16, 17, and 18. All right. So get your book Bible or your Google Bible and roll along with us as we read. All right. St. Matthew chapter 16. The Pharisees also with the Sadducees came, and tempting, I don't know, so I can't hardly see. I'm going to have on my glasses. You know, sitting in my pocketbook upstairs. I'm going to go up there, you know. But I'm not going up there. Let me see if the phone is on. I'm not all on the people. I'm not see well. Yeah, me and them I go dark. And the room dark. Hold on here, people. All right. So me I want one light here. So let us start again. We're reading St. Matthew chapter 16. The Pharisees also with the Sadducees came, and tempting desired him that he would show them a sign from heaven. So them come now to tempt him and say, because you know, a lot of people still didn't believe all the things that he were doing. They still did not believe that he had all these powers. They thought it was fake. They thought it was some kind of a voodoo, or you know, he had planned with the people. He had planned with the Jewish people to pretend that he was doing these healings, and so the people them didn't believe him, because you see, I tell you, the hatred for the Jewish people in the region was so tangible. It was so pervasive that they don't think anything good would ever come out of the little remnants of Jews that were left. Because you know that according to the readings, they have been trying their best to annihilate, destroy, and totally get rid of the Jewish people in the region. They were determined to do that. They were doing everything to accomplish that goal. So now here comes somebody who is a Jew, and he is doing such great things. The Jews are going back on the map. He's healing the sick. He's doing all these good things. So they are envious. No, nobody among them is supposed to be able to do that. This reminds me of like slavery in America, and the black people they brought over here, and they tried to convince the masses that the black people, that we were no good, we stunk, we you know, all the negative things about us, what everything negative they found to blanket us with. So when we started to show that we are more than, we can teach you all how to bathe yourself. Come on now. You all don't even wash your hair. You all don't even brush teeth. Come on now. We can teach you all of that. Come on, this is how people brush teeth. This is how people bathe themselves and wash their hair and all that good thing. Them never like that because it was coming from us. Okay? So when we started to make things like pancakes, them take it, run with it, call it theirs. When we invented things like the iron, them take it for themselves, run with it, because it was too good for us. They did not think that we deserved to be lifted up out of the muck that they had stuck us in. Simple, simple. So everything that we did, they hijacked it and called it theirs. So same thing. Well, the same thing, the same concept. Okay. Let us continue. I see Andrea is in the house. Andrea, what's up? Good morning, Andrea. How you doing? So let us continue. So here these people coming now to tempt Jesus, to tell him he should show them some kind of sign from heaven for them to believe that he is real. He answered and said unto them, when it is evening, ye say, it will be fair weather. Excuse me. It will be fair weather, for the sky is red. And in the morning, it will be foul weather today, for the sky is red and lowering. O ye hypocrites, he can discern the face of the sky, but can he not discern the signs of the times? A wicked and adulterous generation seeks after a sign, and there shall no sign be given unto it, but the sign of the prophet Jonas. And you know that in the New Testament, some of the names of the people from the Old Testament have a little bit of a variation, but it's the same person. For example, Jonas, Jonas, in the New Testament is actually Jonah. Jonah, the same prophet who they said went into the belly of the whale. Yes, that's the same Jonas. In the New Testament, when it talks about the prophet Jeremy, it's talking about Jeremiah. In the New Testament, when it's talking about Isaiah, it's talking about the prophet Isaiah. Okay, let us continue. A wicked and adulterous generation seeks after a sign, and there shall no sign be given unto it, but the sign of the prophet Jonas. And he left them and departed. And when his disciples were come to the other side, they had forgotten to take bread. Then Jesus said unto them, take heed and beware of the leaven of the Pharisees and of the Sadducees. And they reasoned among themselves, saying, it is because we have taken no bread. Which when Jesus perceived, he said unto them, O ye of little faith, why reason ye among yourselves, because ye have brought no bread? Do ye not yet understand that neither remember the 5 loaves and the five loaves of the 5,000, and how many baskets he took up? So you hear that these people were concerned because here they had no bread. So amongst themselves, they were concerned, Lord, what we are going to eat? We don't have no bread. We forgot if we carry the bread. Oh my God, what we are going to eat? Jesus said, we don't worry on yourself, but what are going to eat for? You not remember, you not have no faith. You all have little faith in me. Even though you say, even though you all say you all believe in me and you all are following me, you all still have little faith in me. Because what you will know a grumble and getting flustered just because you don't have no bread. I don't forget what I did with the 5 loaves when I fed the 5,000 people, 5,000 plus people with the 5 loaves. If you don't have any trust in them, you don't not worry. If you didn't have any complete trust and faith in me, you would not worry about not having bread. trust that I am able to feed you with even a morsel, to feed the whole multitude of you with even a morsel, with anything. Let us continue. Verse 10. And for those of you just coming, we're on to St. Matthew chapter 16. I'm sorry to try to say 17 and 18, but that's a way to get you all on your toes. Let us continue. Neither the 7 loaves of the 4,000, and how many baskets he took up. How is it that ye do not understand that I spake it not to you concerning bread, that ye should beware of the leaven of the Pharisees and of the Sadducees? Then understood they how that he bade them not beware of the leaven of bread, but of the doctrine of the Pharisees and the Sadducees. When Jesus came into the coast of Caesarea Philippi, he asked his disciples, saying, whom do men say that I, the Son of Man, am? Okay, so here he's asking the people, what am I say about me? Who do they say I am? Talk to me. I want to hear what the word is on the streets. Yeah, that's what he wanted to know. He wanted to know what in the world they were talking about him. Who are they saying he is? Are they saying he comes from he's a voodoo priest? Are they saying he's a whatever? What were they saying he was? He wanted to know. And they said, some say that thou art John the Baptist. And you know why they would have said it? They would think that he was John the Baptist who had been reincarnated. But by this time, John the Baptist had been unalived. Yes. Remember, the King Herod had sent to take off John the Baptist's head in the street. But you know what? I never read if they found his head. They said they took off his head and left his body in the street. And the Jewish people picked up the body and buried it. But me never hear what they did with his head. Did they ever hand over his head? I don't know, but we're gonna continue reading. Maybe it's somewhere hidden. It's hidden in the literature somewhere. We'll continue to read to find out. Hey, Candy, how are you doing? Good morning to you. Happy Sunday morning to you. And they said, some say that thou art John the Baptist. Some say you are Elias, and others say you are Jeremiah, and or one of the prophets. He said unto them, but whom say ye that I am? Say, so what uno say? You all are telling me what the other people say. Some say them think me a Jonah, them think me a no, not Jonah, them think me a Jeremiah, them think me a John the Baptist, them think me a Elias, them think I am one of the ancient prophets who have been reincarnated, who come back. But who do you say I am? What you think? And Simon Peter answered and said, thou art the Christ, the Son of the living God. And Jesus answered and said unto him, blessed art thou, Simon Barjona, for flesh and blood hath not revealed it unto thee, but my Father which is in heaven. So he called Simon Peter Simon Barjona. Okay. Verse 18. And I say also unto thee that thou art Peter, and upon this rock I will build my church, and the gates of hell shall not prevail against it. And I will give unto thee the keys of the kingdom of heaven, and whatsoever thou shalt bind on earth shall be bound in heaven, and whatsoever thou shalt loose on earth shall be loosed in heaven. Then charged he his disciples that they should tell no man that he was Jesus the Christ. Okay, so he warned them not to tell anybody. Why he didn't want them to tell anybody? He didn't want them to tell anybody that he was Jesus the Christ. Okay. Verse 21. From that time forth began Jesus to show unto his disciples how that he must go unto Jerusalem and suffer many things of the elders and chief priests and scribes, and be killed and be raised again the third day. Okay, so he did not want them to tell that he was Jesus Christ, because apparently he knew what would happen and what was going to happen to him with that revelation. Then Peter took him and began to rebuke him, saying, Be it far from thee, Lord, this shall not be unto thee. But he turned and said unto Peter, Get thee behind me, Satan. Thou art an offense unto me, for thou savorest not the things that be of God, but those that be of men. Now, why was Peter upset and rebuking Jesus? Because Jesus said it was coming time for him to. Let me read that again, people. Let's read that again. Because now here he and Peter are having a little scuffle here. Let's see what's going on here with this scuffle. And I will give unto thee the keys of the kingdom. Wait, let's read 18. And I say also unto thee that thou art Peter. Does that mean that he gave Simon the name Peter? That's where Simon Peter's name came from? Okay. And I say also unto thee that thou art Peter. Okay. Give me a second there. Let's continue. And I say also unto thee that thou art Peter, and upon this rock I will build my church, and the gates of hell shall not prevail against it. And I will give unto thee the keys of the kingdom of heaven. And whatsoever thou shalt bind on earth shall be bound in heaven, and whatsoever thou shalt loose on earth shall be loosed in heaven. Then he charged his disciples that they should not tell anyone that he was Jesus the Christ. From that time forth Jesus began to show unto his disciples how that he must go unto Jerusalem and suffer many things of the elders and chief priests and scribes, and be killed and be raised again the third day. So Jesus started to tell the disciples what to expect, that this is what is going to happen to me. We're going to go into Jerusalem. There's going to come a time they're going to slay me. Be prepared, but I'm going to raise up again after the third day. Then Peter took him and began to rebuke him, saying, Be it far from thee, Lord, this shall not be unto thee. So Peter was upset when he heard that what Jesus was saying. We're going to continue traveling, but we're going to go to Jerusalem. It is coming close to the time that I will be slain, and I will rise again on the third day. Peter didn't like to hear that. Lord, we have a good thing going on here. Why you go and mash it up? I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that. But remember, this had been prophesied for a long time. So it's like something that they were expecting. But now that the time had come, now that it was like right there, Peter couldn't stand the reality of it being so close to happening. So Peter rebuked Jesus and said, No, I don't want to see this happen to you. And Jesus said unto him, but Jesus turned and said unto Peter, Get thee behind me, Satan. So he had the best comebacks, huh? He had the best comeback. So it was Peter that he was calling Satan, because he was angry at Peter for not for not just going along with what he was saying. He said, this is the time has come. Why are you getting angry about it when you knew from the beginning that there is going to come a time when I'm going to be slain by the people and I'm going to come back to life after 3 days? So why are you making a big fuss now that the time is at hand? So he said to Peter, get thee behind me, Satan. Thou art an offense to me, for thou savorest not the things that be of God, but those that be of men. Then Jesus said unto his disciples, if any man will come after me, let him deny himself and take up his cross and follow me. For whosoever will save his life shall lose it, and whosoever will lose his life for my sake shall find it. For what is a man profited if he shall gain the whole world and lose his own soul? Or what shall a man give in exchange for his soul? For the Son of Man shall come in the glory of his Father with his angels, and then he shall reward every man according to his works. Verily I say unto you, there be some standing here which shall not taste of death till they see the Son of Man coming in the kingdom. That's the end of St. Matthew chapter 16. Stay with me, guys. Stay with me as we continue. We are Card, bless up yourself. Good morning, Card. Good morning, Max. Blessings to you. Good morning. How is everybody doing? Good morning to you guys. Miss Set Good. Don't you that way. Good morning, Miss Set Good. How are you doing, my love? Good morning to you. Blessings to you all, guys. Thank you all so much for coming. Yeah, get on a book Bible or Google Bible and come along and let us continue with the reading of St. Matthew. We are now moving on to chapter 17. And after 6 days, Jesus take Peter, James, and John his brother, and brought them up into the high mountains apart. So he took them and went up in the mountains apart from everybody else. He took these three, Peter, James, and John his brother. And was transfigured before them, and his face did shine as the sun, and his raiment was white as the light. And behold, there appeared unto them Moses and Elias talking with them. Eh? Oh, okay. Okay, so he took Peter, James, and John up on the mountain with him. And while up on the mountain, he showed them how he could be transformed, how his face could shine like the sun, and his clothes could be white as light. And then they saw Moses and Elias. And remember, say, by this time, Moses had been dead for many, many years. Hundreds of years. And they saw him talking with Moses and Elias. Then Peter answered and said unto Jesus, Lord, it is good for us to be here. If thou wilt, let us make here 3 tabernacles, one for thee, and one for Moses, and one for Elias. While he spoke, behold, a bright cloud overshadowed them, And behold, a voice out of the cloud which said, This is my beloved Son, in whom I am well pleased. Hear ye him. And when the disciples heard it, they fell on their face and were sore afraid. And Jesus came and touched them and said, Arise, and be not afraid. And when they had lifted up their eyes, they saw no man, save Jesus only. And as they came down from the mountain, Jesus charged them, saying, Tell this vision to no man, until the Son of Man be risen again from the dead. Okay? So Jesus told them, not to tell anybody what had just happened up on the mountain. So Moses appear and disappear again. But y'all remember that while we were reading the Bible, remember say Moses, I know them never find Moses' body. God says in a circle, yes. You see that, where's his body? Hey, yeah, y'all remember? Y'all remember according to the reading that Moses' body was never found? Y'all remember that when the children of Israel were crossing the river Jordan to go over into the promised land, over into Jericho, remember that Moses went up on the mountain, on Mount Pisgah. He could look over and see the promised land, but he never got over there. And they said he died up there, but they couldn't find his body. They said they never found his body, so they never had a burial spot for Moses. So where did Moses' body go? I don't know. But here in the New Testament, they say they saw Moses and Elias upon the mountain when they went up there with Jesus. Okay. Now let us continue. We are on to verse 10 of chapter 17. And his disciples asked him, saying, Why then say the scribes that Elias must first come? And Jesus answered and said unto them, Elias truly shall first come and restore all things. But I say unto you that Elias is come already, and they knew him not, but have done unto him whatsoever they listed. Likewise shall also the Son of Man suffer of them. Then the disciples understood that he spake unto them of John the Baptist. And when they were come to the multitude, there came to him a certain man, kneeling down to him, and saying, Lord, have mercy on my son, for he is a lunatic, and sore vexed, for oftentimes he falleth into the fire, and oftentimes he falls into the water. And I brought him to thy disciples, and they could not cure him. Then Jesus answered and said, O faithless and perverse generation, how long shall I be with you? How long shall I suffer you? Bring him here to me. And Jesus rebuked the devil, and he departed out of him, and the child was cured from that very hour. Then came the disciples to Jesus and said, Why should not we cast him out? Now, this man who had come to Jesus, it said he was a certain man. Normally when the Bible said it was a certain man, it sounded like they knew who he was, but they don't want to say. But they say he was a certain man who came with this son. The disciples didn't think that he was worthy of receiving the blessing of healing. Didn't think he was. So hear them asking Jesus, Then came the disciples to Jesus apart and said, Why could why could not we cast him out? Yeah, why we never have that power? Why we couldn't do that? And Jesus said unto them, Because of your unbelief. For verily I say unto you, if ye have faith as a grain of a mustard seed, ye shall say unto this mountain, Remove hence to yonder place, and it shall remove, and nothing shall be impossible unto you. Howbeit this kind going not out, but by prayer and fasting. And while they dwelt in Galilee, Jesus said unto them, The Son of Man shall be betrayed into the hands of men, and they shall kill him. And the third day he shall be raised again. And they were exceedingly sorry. And when they were come to Capernaum, they that received tribute money came to Peter and said, Doth not your master pay tribute? He said, Yes. And when he was coming to the house, Jesus prevented him, saying, What are you thinking, Simon? Of whom do the kings of the earth take custom of tribute? Of their own children, or of strangers? Peter said unto him, Of strangers. Jesus said unto him, Then are the children free. Notwithstanding, lest we should offend them, go thou to the sea, and cast a hook, and take up the fish that first cometh up. And when thou hast opened his mouth, thou shalt find a piece of money. Take that, and give unto them for me and you. Wow. So Jesus really showing his power. God says, I'm Kaizen. Good morning. How are you doing, my love? Rob chattings, mess up yourself, bro. How are you doing? Good to see you. God says, while there was stuff in their face, while they were stuffing their face, Jesus was fasting and praying. Well, I think the people, even the disciples, were still in such awe of all the things that were happening around them that they just didn't know what to do. Like, it's almost like they were paralyzed if Jesus wasn't standing right there. Because now that he was up on the mountain with them three, meeting with Moses and Elias, they couldn't do anything. They're like, oh, we don't know what to do. We don't know what to do. Jesus is not here. Even though before he had given them this authority and power to be able to cast out demons and heal the sick and all those things, they still did not completely believe that it was possible for them to be able to do it. The paralysis of analysis. I like that. Yeah. They could not, they still did not believe that, me, I'm just an ordinary man. Like, oh, Jesus is going to put all this power on me to cast out devils, to heal the sick. Yeah, they're still fearful. Like, so they're still doubtful. I don't think I can do that. Jesus got to come do this himself. So, so that's why he said they were of little faith, because they did not believe in themselves. They did not believe they could do what he had told them that they could do. So here now, he's having this conversation here. Which one am I talk to here? So now, is it Peter? Hold on, don't let me tell you something that's not here. Let me see. No, not John. That was a certain man. Verse 17 says, Then Jesus answered and said, O faithless and perverse generation, how long shall I be with you? How long shall I suffer you? Bring him hither to me. And Jesus rebuked the devil, and he departed from him, and the child was cured from that very hour. Then came the disciples to Jesus apart and said, why couldn't we do that? Jesus said unto them, because of your unbelief. For verily I say unto you, if ye have faith as a grain of mustard seed, ye shall say unto the mountain, remove hence to yonder place, and it shall remove, and nothing shall be impossible unto you. Howbeit, this kind goeth not out, but by prayer and fasting. And while they dwelled in Galilee, Jesus said unto them, the Son of Man shall be betrayed into the hands of men, and they shall unalive him. And the third day he shall be raised again. And they were exceedingly sorry. And when they were come to Capernaum, they that received tribute money came to Peter. Okay, I was right, it was Peter. And said, doth not your master pay tribute? He said, yes. And when he was come into the house, Jesus prevented him, saying, what are you thinking, Simon? Of whom do the kings of the earth take custom or tribute? Of their own children, or of strangers? And Peter said unto him, of strangers. And that's when Jesus said unto him, go take your fish hook and cast it into the water. And the first set of fish that come upon it, looking at the fish mouth, and you will find money in the fish mouth. Give it to them. Tell them that is my tribute. Volcano is in the place. Volcano, how are you doing, my love? Good to see you. Happy Sunday morning to you. Let's continue. We are now on to chapter 18. St. Matthew chapter 18. At the same time came the disciples unto Jesus, saying, who is the greatest of the kingdom of heaven? And Jesus called a little child unto him, and set him in the midst of them, and said, verily I say unto you, except ye be converted, and become as the little children, ye shall not enter into the kingdom of heaven. Whosoever therefore shall humble himself as this little child, the same is greatest in the kingdom of heaven. And whosoever shall receive one such little child is in my name receiveth me. But whosoever shall offend one of these little ones which believe in me, it were better for him that a millstone were hung around his neck, and that he were drowned in the depths of the sea. Hear that? Whosoever shall offend one of these little children, it would be better if a stone was hung around his neck and he be tossed into the sea to drown. Verse 7, woe unto the world because of offenses, for it must needs be that offenses come, but woe to that man by whom the offenses come. Wherefore, if thy hand or thy foot offend thee, cut them off, and cast them from thee. It is better for thee to enter into life halt or maimed, rather than having 2 hands or 2 feet to be cast into everlasting fire. All right, so Andrea say, what does this tribute money mean? Card, where card there? Andrea says, what does this tribute money mean? Don't let me tell you, because I don't know, because I just think that, in my opinion, I think if you are, remember, They are like strangers now in this place. Okay? So that is why the people are asking them to pay. You can't just come in our place claim, say, yeah, I heal sick, yeah, do this, all that. You gotta pay. You gotta pay to be here. And that's what they charge strangers, because remember, when Jesus asked Peter, who do they charge to pay tribute? Do they charge their children? Do they charge the people who are here? Or do they charge strangers? And Peter said, strangers, which means that if you come into people's place to preach and to teach, you got to pay. God says it's taxes. Well, you got to pay something. If you're coming to preach and teach in the people's place and you are a stranger, you can't just come just like that. You have to get permission from them, and you got to pay for that permission. If you live there, you can just preach. You can just preach at any time. You have that authority. But if you are not from there, and remember, they were not from there, so they had to pay. Does that answer the question? Because from the context of the Bible, that is my clear understanding of it. But me never say me right. Me just say that is my understanding of it per the context. Okay? Joy is in the place. Morning, Joy. How you doing? Sexy Shinelle. How are you doing? Welcome. Nicolette. Okay. All right, Andrea. Let us continue, gentle people. Let us continue. Verse 9. And if thine eye offend thee, pluck it out and cast it from thee. It is better for thee to enter into life with one eye rather than having two eyes to be cast into hellfire. Take heed that ye despise not one of these little ones, for I say unto you that in heaven their angels do always behold the face of my Father which is in heaven. For the Son of Man is come to save that which was lost. How do you think, if a man have 100 sheep, and one of them be gone astray, doth he not leave the 99 and go into the mountains, and seek that which is gone astray? And if so be that he find it, verily I say unto you, he rejoiceth more of that sheep than of the 99 which were not astray. Even so, it is not the will of your Father which is in heaven that one of these little ones should perish. Moreover, if thy brother shall trespass against thee, go and tell him his fault between thee and him alone. If he shall hear thee, thou hast gained thy brother. But if he will not hear thee, then take with thee one or two more, that is the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses. Every word may be established. And if he shall neglect to hear them, tell it unto the church. But if he neglected to hear the church, let him be unto thee as an heathen man and a publican. Did they leave out the RE out of that? Uh, Let me see what Kai says. That's why he said he came for the lost sheep of the household of Israel. Exactly. Exactly. He said he came for the lost sheep of the household of Israel. That's the children of Israel who had gone astray, and they were plenty. They were many. You know, the people around had made every effort to scatter them, to have them not be a cohesive community around there. They just wanted them. They saw the strength and the power that they had, the ability to have in that region because of the history of how powerful the Jewish people were in the region. And those around them did not want that. We don't want them to be as powerful as they were back in the days of David and even in the days of Solomon. We do not want them to regain that power and authority. So we're doing everything we can to ensure that it does not happen. And then here comes this Jesus, who is one of them, who is able to do even greater things than was being done by Moses, by anybody else who had come before. Here comes this Jesus. So this now has made them quite angry, because look at this. The same people we're trying to put down. Here is one of them who is doing such great things. We're afraid. Our people now are going to start following him. We are going to be losing support because he is so powerful. Everybody's talking about him. Everybody's going to follow him. So he was a triple threat to their existence, to their ideologies, and to their culture. He was seen as a threat. Shade, how are you doing? Good morning, Shade. How are you doing? Blessings, Sister Teresa. Teresa is in the house. How are you doing, Teresa? Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Blessings to you, my sister. Good to see you. Welcome. 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 You know, I'm going to understand with a TikTok here. You see me sit down here, so. And I like saying you see me now. You see me sit down here, so. Conducting the live. You see me here talking. You see the people here. You see what's going, and you still, I tell me, say, you have to verify that I am still on the live. Like, seriously? You have to verify that I am still here, and you see me right here, so. So this is a ghost? Boy, let me tell you, you get for my nerves. You get for my nerves. Believe me. We still don't want them ban you, but you get for my nerves. But anywho, Teresa says she's good. Wonderful, my sister. Wonderful. Hello, Pamela and Maria and French Mocha. Good morning, and Miss Du. How you do? Good to see you, Matt. Welcome. Let us continue. Let us continue with the reading, my dears. We are on to St. Matthew chapter 18 and verse 14. Even so, it is not the will of your Father which is in heaven that one of these little ones should perish. Moreover, if thy brother shall trespass against thee, go and tell him his fault between thee and him alone, and he shall hear thee. If he shall hear thee, thou hast gained thy brother. So if your brother offend you, if you and your brother having a disagreement, you all can talk about it together and come to some kind of an agreement. Right, Kim? Bless up yourself. But if he will not hear you, then take with thee one or two more people to be the witnesses. Okay. So if your brother is still upset, but whatever, God. And I have talk, but you don't want it. All right. All right. All right. That's okay. So here Jesus is saying, if you and your brother have a disagreement, if you find out say you wrong your brother, you go to your brother, you say, well, you wrong me. Or me wrong you. Let's talk about it. You come to an agreement and a squash, on a squash, whatever it is. Sometimes that's kind of hard for doing. Sometimes that's kind of hard for doing. But anyway, if your brother don't want to accept that olive branch from you, then you bring a couple more people with you to go meet this brother. You know, to go talk to him and say, make them hear what the argument is about and see if somebody amongst them can come up with a nice little resolution that will avoid war. If that don't work, him say you must take it to the church. To the church, I tell you. He says, if the two of you can resolve it one-on-one, and you get a few more people to come and it still can be resolved, you must take it to the church. But if he neglect to hear the church, let him be unto him as an Indian man and a publican. Yeah, so if after you take it to the church, the brother still no want peace, you have to leave him alone. You know, just count him out. Because verily I say unto you, whatsoever he shall bind on earth shall be bound in heaven, and whatsoever he shall loose on earth shall be loosed in heaven. Again I say unto you, that if two of you shall agree on earth as touching anything that they shall ask, it shall be done for them of my Father which is in heaven. For where two or three are gathered together in my name, there, there I am in the midst of them. Then came Peter to him and said, Lord, how often shall my brother sin against me, and I forgive him? And he said, till 7 times? Jesus said unto him, I say not unto thee until 7 times, until 70 times 7. All right? Because remember, so this is still under the law. Yeah, because they're still going by the already established Jewish laws, correct? Yeah, that's my understanding. Junie Petaway, Karen, what's up? That's my understanding. But let us continue. And Peter asked Jesus if his brother offends him, if he's only obligated to forgive his brother 7 times. Jesus said, I ain't say 7 times. I say 77 times. No, he said 70 times 7. 70 times 7. 7, 490. 70 times 7 times. Verse 23, therefore is the kingdom of heaven likened unto a certain king, which would take account of his servants. Or which certain king that's? Which would take account of his servants. And when he had begun to reckon, one was brought unto him, which owed him 10,000 talents. But for as much as he had not to pay, his Lord commanded him to be sold, and his wife and children, and all that he had, and payment to be made. The servant therefore fell down and worshipped him, saying, Lord, have patience with me now, please, and I will pay you everything that I owe you. Then the Lord of that servant was moved with compassion, and loosed him, and forgave him of his debt. But the same servant went out and found one of his fellow servants, which owed him 100 pence, and he laid hands on him and took him by the throat, saying, Pay me that thou owest. You see, the same grace that we get, we don't offer it to others. You see, this servant, this is a lesson here for us. This servant, he owed his master 10,000. We'll call it $10,000. He owed his master $10,000. And the master said, take him, his wife, him pitney them, all of them, for that money. And him bow down on his knees, and him beg and him plea, and him beg and him plea. And the master said, all right, like how you beg and plea, me I go forgive you. I will just forget the debt, forget that you owe it, and you can Go in peace. Just forget say you owe me the debt. I'm going to just write it off. And when he left out of the master's presence, there was a man who owed him just 100 pence, you know. Now the master just forgive you of 10,000. And somebody owe you 100 pence. And you take the man by the throat and tell him, yeah, squeeze out the life out of him, telling him to pay you what he owe you. That sound like a certain that sound like a certain orange man. Oh my Lord. Can't be myself. And his fellow servant fell down at his feet and besought him, saying, have patience with me, and I will pay you everything. And he would not, but went and cast him into prison till he should pay the debt. You see? So even though one person was willing to forgive this man a whole $10,000 debt, he could not forgive his fellow man $100. We got to give as much as we receive. Some people, them only have their hand out to receive. But they ain't give nothing. Them not give nothing. Them not give the same grace to others as is given to them. They don't extend the same love to others as is extended to them. They think they're in control of everything and they are some kind of special why they must receive grace. And me and you ain't no kind of special, so we no deserve no grace. Let's continue. And his fellow servant fell down at his feet and besought him, saying, have patience with me, and I will pay you. But he would not. But he went and cast him into prison till he should pay the debt. So when his fellow servants saw what was done, they were very sorry, and came and told unto their Lord all that was done. So when the other servants saw what this wicked servant had done, they went to the master. They went to the master, their master, the master who had forgiven the servant initially. And they told him what had happened. Verse 32. Then his Lord, after that he had called him, said unto him, O thou wicked servant, I forgave you all that debt, because you desired me too. Shouldest not thou also have had compassion on your fellow servants, even as I had had pity on you? And his Lord was angry. And this Lord, people, this was not Jesus. Okay? This was a master, somebody who was you know how they had those like governors, those rulers in the community, those people who were rich. Let me just say, those people who were like rich in the community, and the poor people would work for those people. Those people had like huge estates with lots of olives and grapes and all these things, cedar and all these things growing on their property, on their big estates, and the poorer people would work for them. So those are the people they call their Lord. Yes, so when they refer to my Lord, oftentimes in the Bible, when it's written with when it's written with a common L, it means that Lord, that earthly Lord. But when it's written with a capital L, it's referring to Lord, as in Lord, Lord. Okay? So here he says, the Lord was angry. That's this master. He was angry and delivered him to the tormentors till he should pay all that was due unto him. So likewise shall my heavenly Father do also unto you, if he from your hearts forgive not every one his brother their trespasses. God's the master of the vineyard. Exactly. Exactly. So if you hear he saying, he will treat you the same way this master treated his servant, the same way the servant treated his fellow servant. So he did not want to forgive his fellow servant of the debt, even though the master had forgiven him of his debt. So now the master says, well, since you can't forgive your fellow servant for $100 and I just forgive you for $10,000, I'm going to deliver you into the hands of the tormentors. And the tormentors would have been like the telemarketers, the the collection agencies. Yeah, I'm going to deliver you into the hands of those people so that they can collect every dime of the $10,000 that you owe me. Okay? So that is right, God. That's those were the early the earliest debt collectors. They were the ones now whose hands it was in to collect the money for the master. So, guys, Riri and the others, welcome. Thank you for coming. Yes, so that is where this the story ends for today. That is the end of St. Matthew chapter 18. Guys, I want to say thanks to you all for coming into the live. Loving Simons, how are you doing? That is where we're going to end the reading for today. For those of you who are just coming here for them kind of short, we just finished reading St. Matthew chapter 16, 17, and 18. When we come back tomorrow, the bounty hunters, exactly. When we come back tomorrow, guys, we will be reading um only chapter 19. When we come back tomorrow, we will read chapter 19 of the book of St. Matthew. So don't forget to join me tomorrow morning, earlier in the morning, earlier than this, because tomorrow morning I'm at work. So we're going to do the reading early in the morning, like really at 4 o'clock in the morning. We will be doing the reading. So that is going to be it from me for now, my friend Jay and Jamrock. Bless up yourself. That's going to be it from me for now, my friends. Until we meet again sometime later. This is Trev from Trevessence, guys, where your journey matters. Have yourselves a great day, guys. Teresa, Desreen, Andrea, Joseph, AG, Winsome, Card, Alu, who else was here? Kim. Kim was here. Who else? Turn the other way. Uh, I can't possibly right boot, left boot. Kaizen was here as well. Thank you all so much for the loves, the likes, the roses, and whatever else you all give. No negative energy. Hello, how are you doing? Thank you all so much. I know Volcano was here as well. That's going to be it from me for right now, my friends. Until next time. I'll see you all later. Have yourselves a great day, everybody.